September has arrived, and you know what that means. A new beginning, a new promise. You look in the mirror on the morning of the first day and tell yourself, with a conviction that feels real, this time it will be different. This time, I'm going all the way. The first 3 days are easy. You're riding the initial wave of motivation. You feel clean, focused, powerful. You think, this is it? I've finally found the strength I needed. But then, day 4 arrives. Or maybe day 5. The motivation evaporates like water in the desert, and in its place, a restlessness arises. A boredom. A familiar voice that whispers in the back of your mind. You're tired, it says. It was a hard day. You deserve a break, a small reward. Just one look, it won't hurt. No one will know. The battle begins. A civil war inside your own head. You try to fight. You try to remember the promise you made to yourself. But it's late at night. Your willpower is depleted, and the temptation, amplified by algorithms designed to break you, seems like an invincible monster. And then, in a moment of weakness, you give in. The pleasure lasts for seconds, but what comes after is a hell that lasts for hours. The wave of guilt, the nausea of You close the screen, but you can't escape the image of your own failure. You lie in bed, in the silence of your room, and the only thing you can hear is the sound of your own disappointment. Again, you think, I failed. Again, I am weak. I have no discipline. I'm never going to make it. If this story sounds familiar, if you've lived this cycle of hope and failure more times than you'd like to admit, then pay close attention. I am here to tell you the truth that no one has ever told you. The problem is not your willpower. Let me repeat that. The reason you repeatedly fail at NoFap has absolutely nothing to do with your willpower being weak. The reason you fail is that you have been entering a 30-day war zone, armed with a kitchen knife, expecting to defeat an army equipped with tanks, drones, and heavy artillery. Your willpower is the knife. It's useful for hand-to-hand combat on the first day, when the enemy is off guard. But your adversary in this war is not a lone soldier. Your adversary is a system. It is your own habit, strengthened by years of repetition. It is the algorithm, designed by the most brilliant attention engineers on the planet to exploit every weakness in your psychology. It is your triggers, scattered throughout your physical and digital environment. To think you can beat all of this with willpower alone is not courage. It is strategic suicide. This is why 90% of men quit. They enter the battlefield with a motivational war cry and are massacred before the 10th day, frustrated and confused, blaming themselves for a defeat that was already written from the start. But this video is not about them. It is about the 10% who win. The silent minority, who don't enter September with more hope, but with more strategy. Men who understand that this is not a battle of brute force, but of intelligence, of tactics, of preparation. What I am going to give you here is not a motivational speech that will get you hyped for 10 minutes. What I'm going to give you is the complete arsenal. The Special Operations Manual for Dominating NoFap September. We are going to break down, step by step, 10 psychological warfare tactics, tested and proven, that you can apply in the real world, especially in those moments when your motivation has already abandoned you. You will learn how to build an impenetrable digital fortress, turning your phone and computer from minefields into allies. You will discover how to master your morning routine to win the war before the enemy even wakes up. You will learn to use heavy workouts and cold showers, not as punishments, but as weapons of energy transmutation. You will understand why loneliness is your greatest enemy and how to build a tribe that fights by your side. By the end of this video, the word NoFap will no longer be a symbol of frustration and failure for you. It will be a synonym for power, for control, for victory. You won't just have the will to win. You will have the battle plan to win. A detailed guide for every phase of the challenge, from the trenches of the first few days to the celebration of the final conquest. So, if you are genuinely tired of telling the same story of failure every year, if you are ready to stop fighting with a knife and start using an arsenal, if you want, once and for all, to reach the 30th of September not by luck, but by strategy, and to look at the man in the mirror with a respect you haven't felt in a long time, stay with me until the end. Because strategy number 10 is the secret weapon. It is the tactic that, year after year, has most separated the men who complete the challenge from those who become just another statistic. Your personal war begins now, but this time, you will be prepared. This channel is not about fleeting motivation. It's about combat strategy. If you are truly committed to being part of the 10% who win, your first tactical action is to secure full access to the battle plan. Subscribe now. The war against mediocrity does not accept unprepared soldiers. The first battle of NoFap September is not fought on the 1st of the month. It happens right now, in the preparation of your digital war zone. 80% of men lose the challenge before it even begins, because they enter the battle with the enemy already entrenched inside their phones and computers. Your first mission, soldier, is to build a digital fortress. And understand this clearly. I am not talking about using your willpower to resist what appears on the screen. I am talking about a scorched earth strategy. It's about eliminating the possibility of the enemy even appearing. Start right now. Take your phone and your computer and activate parental controls. Yes, you heard me right. Go into the security settings and activate all adult content restrictions. On an iPhone, it's in screen time. On Android, use digital well-being or family link. It might seem childish, but mature men don't care about appearances. They care about results. Your willpower will fail, but a system block will not. Next, the app purge. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, uninstall them. No negotiation. The algorithms of these networks are weapons of mass distraction, programmed to exploit your desire and keep you addicted. That innocent gym photo could be the ambush that destroys your streak on day 15 during September. Your focus is not socializing, it's surviving. YouTube and Netflix are also minefields. Activate restricted mode on YouTube. Completely clear your watch history to reset the recommendation. And if you have to, create a brand new account from scratch, subscribing only to channels that strengthen your mind, not weaken it. Do a final sweep. Delete secondary browsers that you use for questionable purposes. Leave all messaging groups with problematic content. Delete the dating apps. The rule is simple. If an app can lead to a relapse, it must be eliminated. The goal is not to make temptation weaker. The goal is to make accessing it logistically impossible, even in a moment of extreme weakness. Your digital fortress is your first line of defense. Build high walls, because the war has already begun. If your digital fortress is your first line of defense, your morning routine is your elite troops. The most dangerous moment for a man on NoFap is not at night when he's tired. It's in the first 30 minutes after waking up, when his mind is still in a fog. His prefrontal cortex, the center of self-control, is not yet online, and his willpower is at zero. It is in this vulnerable state that most relapses happen. Your mission is simple. Automate your morning to be failure-proof. The first order, and the most important of all, your phone no longer sleeps in your bedroom. This rule is non-negotiable. The excuse I use it as an alarm clock is the epitaph on the tombstone of countless NoFap attempts. Buy a $10 alarm clock. The presence of the phone within arm's reach in your bed is an invitation to disaster. The I'll just check the time turns into the I'll just check my messages, which leads to a full relapse before the sun even rises. Remove the murder weapon from the scene. Your morning needs to be a protocol, not a series of decisions. When the mind is weak, the body must follow an automatic sequence. When you wake up, your feet hit the floor, and you execute a predefined routine without thinking. Drink a glass of water left by your bed the night before. Go to the bathroom. Splash cold water on your face. The fundamental rule is, movement kills the impulse. Get out of the bedroom as quickly as possible. The environment where you sleep is often the same one where you fail. Do not linger in it. Channel the accumulated energy from the night into your body constructively, before your mind has a chance to direct it down the path of weakness. The night before, prepare a podcast or a playlist of music that energizes you. The first stimulus of your day cannot be a screen. It has to be audio that aligns your mind with victory. The golden rule is this: 0 screens for the first hour of the day. The phone is only touched after your morning protocol is complete. Win the morning, win the day. Win the day. Dominate September. Sexual energy doesn't just disappear when you decide to do NoFap. It accumulates. An accumulated energy without direction transforms into an internal enemy. It turns into anxiety, irritation, and a pressure that, sooner or later, will lead to a relapse. The solution is not to repress this force. It is to give it a job. Heavy training is your primary weapon of transmutation. I'm not talking about a light walk. I'm talking about iron, sweat, and muscle failure. An effort that leaves you too exhausted to even think about weakness. The rule is simple and brutal. When temptation strikes, you train. Feel that restlessness, that aimless energy starting to bubble up. Stop whatever you're doing and channel that force. Do push-ups to failure. Sprint until your legs burn. Lift the weight you've been avoiding. Use the impulse that would lead to your fall as fuel for your physical ascension. During September, increase the intensity and frequency. Your body has a surplus of energy that would normally be wasted. Use this advantage to build the physique you want in record time. Have an emergency protocol on the days the urge is unbearable. Do a second workout. 20 minutes of bodyweight exercises at home can be the wall that stops your fortress from crumbling. It's a simple choice. Do you prefer the pain of muscle being rebuilt or the pain of regret consuming you? Every drop of sweat is a victory. Every heavy workout is proof that you are in command. You trade the guilt of relapse for the pride of construction. Use your desire to build a body you are proud of. If heavy training transmutes your energy, the cold shower forges your mind. NoFap, at its core, is the art of mastering your impulses. It is the ability to feel an overwhelming desire and still choose discipline. And there is no daily training more direct and effective for this skill than facing the cold water. Every single day of September, no exceptions. Think of it as your mental gym. When you turn on the cold shower, your primal mind screams, "Don't do it. It's uncomfortable. You don't need this today." And it is in that exact moment that the battle takes place. By stepping into the water and remaining, you are exercising the most important muscle of all. Your ability to say no to the voice of weakness and yes to what must be done. You are proving, on a cellular level, that you are in command, not your comfort-seeking impulses. Start with 30 seconds of cold water at the end of your normal shower and increase it each day. The goal is consistency, not immediate heroism. The best time is first thing in the morning. It programs your mind for victory and gives you a clarity and energy that no coffee can match. And use it as an emergency reset. Is the temptation during the day unbearable? Run to the shower. The thermal shock will break the cycle of obsessive thoughts and give you back control. The discipline you build in the morning's ice is the same you will use to conquer the fire of temptation at night. You are training to be the kind of man who doesn't run from discomfort, but uses it to get stronger. One of the most dangerous lies ever told to men is that strength is a solitary journey, that a true warrior faces his battles in silence without asking for help. This lone wolf mentality is a trap and a death sentence for your long-term discipline. The raw truth is this: on day 4, when your motivation has vanished and the temptation is overwhelming, your individual willpower will not be enough, but your accountability to your tribe will be. Loneliness is the playground of addiction. It is in the isolation of your room, in the silence of your mind, that the excuses and rationalizations win. But when you are accountable to other men, the battle changes. The fear of failure stops being just a personal disappointment and becomes a breach of commitment to your brothers in arms. And that sense of honor and accountability is an infinitely more powerful fuel than fleeting motivation. Your mission, therefore, is to assemble your squad. Find at least one other man who is committed to this challenge. A friend, a brother, a colleague. Make a pact to report to each other every single day with a simple message, holding the line this small. Daily action creates an unbreakable chain of discipline. Next, declare your mission publicly, not the details, but the commitment. Tell your family and friends that you are on a 30-day discipline challenge. Create a positive social pressure that forces you to keep your word. And most importantly, join a battalion that is already on the front lines. This is exactly why this channel exists. We are not just a video channel. We are a community, a rallying point for men who are in the same war as you. If you haven't subscribed yet, you are deliberately choosing to fight alone. The most strategic decision you can make right now is to join our ranks. Subscribe to the channel, not for more content, but to be part of a tribe that understands your fight. Read the comments, see the reports. You are not alone. Remember, lone wolves are taken down. Packs survive, hunt, and dominate. Choose your pack. Here is a strategic truth that few understand. You will never conquer an addiction by simply stopping something. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you simply remove the old habit, the empty space of time and mental energy will be filled by the same weakness as before. True victory comes not from elimination, but from intelligent replacement. Your mission is to replace the time and energy of the addiction with the active study of a new skill. Think about it. The compulsion for pornography is, at its core, the brain's hunt for novelty and stimulation. You can feed this hunger with digital junk that leaves you empty, or you can feed it with knowledge that makes you stronger. The choice is yours. Before the 1st of September, choose one skill you've always wanted to master. A new language, coding, a musical instrument, finance, anything that requires focus and gives you a sense of real progress. Next, map out your higher risk hours, those times at night or on weekends when a relapse usually happens. Schedule them as sacred study hours. Trade the hour of cheap pleasure for the hour of competence building. By doing this, you are not just avoiding the addiction, you are using the same mental energy it would consume to build a better version of yourself. At the end of September, you will not have just survived the challenge. You will have emerged with a new skill, more capable, more confident, and more valuable. Trade lost time for invested time. Trade wasted energy for acquired power. This strategy is the turning point. This is where NoFap stops being about what you can do and becomes about the incredible man you can build. The energy that once destroyed you now becomes the fuel for your evolution. The comment section is our mission board. It's where we declare our missions for all to see and be inspired by. So, I want to ask you a question to seal your commitment to growth. If you could take all the energy and time that would be wasted this month and channel it into mastering a single skill, what would it be? Whether it's learning a language, coding, playing an instrument, or investing, declare your mission below. Your plan could be the inspiration another man needs to start his. Let's turn the comments into a wall of ambition. What is your skill? While most men focus on the mental battle of NoFap, they ignore a war zone that silently sabotages their efforts, what they put on their plate. The truth, soldier, is that your capacity for self-control is directly linked to your brain chemistry, and what you eat determines that chemistry. During September, every meal is a strategic decision. Are you strengthening yourself for the battle, or are you fueling the enemy that lives inside you? Enemy number one of your discipline is sugar and ultra-processed foods. Sweets, sodas, fast food, chips. Treat them like the poison they are. These foods create a dopamine and insulin roller coaster in your body. The pleasure peaks are followed by abrupt crashes in energy and mood, leaving your brain desperate for another spike of stimulation. It is in this state of chemical vulnerability that your willpower disintegrates and sexual impulses become uncontrollable. A brain dysregulated by poor nutrition is an undisciplined brain. Your mission is to stabilize the terrain. Starting today, eliminate the industrial junk. Build every meal on a solid foundation of lean proteins, chicken, fish, eggs, and healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil. They provide stable energy and the building blocks for the neurotransmitters that regulate your mood and your impulses. Complete your plate with vegetables, especially dark leafy greens, which are rich in magnesium, a mineral that calms the nervous system. Drink water, a lot of water. Dehydration impairs the function of your prefrontal cortex, the seat of your self-control. This is not a diet for aesthetics. This is a war protocol. You cannot expect to win a mental battle if your body is in a state of biochemical chaos. Feed your body the clean, high-octane fuel a warrior needs. By stabilizing your internal chemistry, you strengthen the foundations of your discipline, making the fight against external impulses infinitely easier. If your food is the fuel, then sleep is the workshop where your brain and your willpower are repaired and rearmed for the next day's battle. This is, perhaps, the most underestimated weapon in your entire arsenal. You can have the best digital strategy and the perfect morning routine, but if you neglect sleep, you will enter tomorrow's war with an exhausted and demoralized army. Most relapses don't happen because of the strength of the temptation, but because of the weakness of your resistance. And poor quality sleep is the primary saboteur of your resistance. The science is clear and brutal. Your willpower is not an abstract concept. It is a biological function executed by your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-control and decision-making. When you sleep poorly, this area of your brain becomes chemically impaired. Trying to resist a strong impulse on less than 7 hours of sleep is like trying to drive a race car drunk. Your reflexes are slow, your judgment is terrible, and the chance of a catastrophic crash is almost guaranteed. Therefore, your mission for September is to treat sleep with the seriousness of a general planning and invasion. The first rule: get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Non-negotiable. It's not laziness, it's war logistics. Your brain needs this time to refuel. The second rule: establish a fixed time to sleep and wake up, even on weekends. Consistency regulates your hormones and deepens the quality of your rest. The third and most important rule: create a shutdown ritual. 1 hour before bed, all screens, phone, TV, computer are turned off. The blue light from these devices destroys your production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Replace digital stimulation with analog relaxation. Read a physical book. Do some light stretching. Write in a journal. You don't fight temptation at 3 in the afternoon. You defeat it at 10 the night before, when you choose to turn off the lights and surrender to the restorative sleep that will turn you into an elite soldier the next morning. You have trained your body with heavy iron. You have forged your discipline in the cold shower. Now, it is time to train on the most crucial battlefield of all, the silent space within your own mind. Many men ignore meditation, thinking it's a waste of time. This is a fatal mistake. 10 minutes of meditation a day is your tactical training for the war against your impulses. Forget the idea of emptying your mind. That is a myth. Meditation is not about having no thoughts. It's about not being a slave to them. It is your mental dojo. During the practice, a thought or a desire will arise. Your mission is not to fight it, but to observe it, like a cloud passing in the sky, and then, gently, return your attention to your breath. Every time you do this, you complete 1 rep. You strengthen the muscle of non-reaction. This is the same muscle you use when a trigger appears during the day. The temptation arises as a thought, but now you have been trained. You observe it, you acknowledge it, but you no longer need to obey it. You simply return your attention to your mission. to your work, to the present moment. Start with 10 minutes daily. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When the mind wanders, and it will bring it back. It is simple, but it is not easy. Meditation doesn't stop you from having the impulse. It gives you the power to choose not to be its slave. In that space of choice, victory is guaranteed. So far, we have delivered 9 field tactics, 9 tools for your September arsenal. If this battle plan is proving valuable for your mission, your like functions as a flare on the battlefield. It helps other men, who are also fighting this battle, to find the weapons they need to win. Leave your signal. We have arrived at the final weapon in your arsenal, the tactic that separates the amateurs from the generals in this war. The previous 9 tactics have built your defenses and trained your army. But even the best prepared army needs morale to keep fighting. This is where your motivation strategy comes in. The progressive reward system. Relying on willpower alone is a rookie mistake. Willpower is a finite resource. Motivation must be manufactured, and you will be the architect. The fundamental problem with NoFap is that your brain doesn't get a natural reward for not doing something. It is programmed to seek pleasure, not to celebrate its absence. You need to hack this system. You need to create a new reward circuit, where discipline, not relapse, is what generates satisfaction. Divide the month into missions. Week 1, your reward is daily and small. For every 24 hours conquered, you treat yourself to something simple. Your favorite meal, an episode of that series you've been saving, an hour of a hobby. The goal is to create daily wins that keep morale high in the initial phase. Week 2. Upon completing the 14th day, the reward increases. Buy something you've wanted for a while, a piece of clothing, an accessory for your workout, something tangible that serves as a medal, a trophy for your discipline. Week 3. The reward becomes social. When you hit the 21st day, celebrate your journey. Go out to dinner with a supportive friend. Share your progress without intimate details with your tribe. Use recognition and pride as fuel for the final stretch. The final victory. Upon completing the 30 days, the reward must be grand. An experience you desire, a short weekend trip, that more expensive item you've been putting off. Something that marks this achievement as one of the most important moments of your year. The 10 strategies are now in your hands. This is no longer a motivation video. It is an operations manual. The difference between the 90% who fail in September and the 10% who emerge victorious has never been willpower. It has been the strength of their strategy. And now, you have the strategy. You have the complete, battle-tested plan of operations for every day of the journey that lies ahead. But understand this. This challenge is much bigger than just NoFap. September is your personal training ground. It is your opportunity to prove to yourself, once and for all, that you are in command. Every day that you apply these tactics, you are not just avoiding a relapse. You are forging a new identity. You are becoming the kind of man who is not governed by impulses, but guided by a purpose. The man who is not a slave to cheap dopamine, but a master of his own mind. The victory on September 30th is not just a streak. It is a declaration of sovereignty over your own life. I thank you for staying until the end and for preparing for this fight. If you are committed to real transformation and not to superficial motivation, your place is here. Subscribe to the Neuro, Alchemy channel and join a community of men who have chosen discipline over excuses. Your final mission for today is clear: to seal your commitment. Go to the comments and write, "September will be dominated." Let that be your personal declaration of war. Prepare your arsenal. The journey begins now. Until the next video.